up there and make the pronouncement that the Supreme Court it's already overset his decision, and accordingly we should come back and sit where we sit. Then the business of the House.
Thank you very much. Honorable K.T. Hammond has been.
That's the Honorable Tyree Hammond there. Is a member of parliament for the Adansi Asokwa constituency in the Ashanti region. We'll return from the break. We'll hear a few more voices from parliament, and then we'll engage a legal brain as the Supreme Court gets ready to convene this morning to deal with these matters as was announced earlier. Stay with us here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. We'll be right back after this break.
Dr. Bawumia once said,
but if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you.
Dr. Bawumia, when your fundamentals are weak, your exchange rate will expose you. That time now $1 to 4 cedis. And today, 11.5. The rate of depreciation. What are we going to say? $1. India, a Turkish near Medinica, Ewo, Dosa or the Bremi. Me money deposit. Not dollar, no. 6 cedis to $1. In August 2022, over $100,000. I have the evidence. Between 1,550,000 Ghana cedis. Meaning the dollar was 15 cedis, 50 pesos. Where were the strategies?
The dollar, which was selling at 4.2 Ghana cedis in 2016, is today selling at about 17 Ghana cedis. Prices keep rising. Businesses are collapsing. Yet the so-called economic messiah is dead silent and totally clueless about how to fix it. Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
The luckiest.
Star 712 #.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah.
Here's to the friends who dialed star 712 # and found no regrets. To the investors who struck gold. To the health workers who diagnosed luck with precision. To the tough guy who couldn't hold back his tears. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hard-earned stitches into a bundle of happiness. And now, here's to you. Your next big win is right here.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah. The luckiest.
Dial star 712 #. Now join in the luckiest winning celebration. Every 1st July 2024. Over dial star 712 #. Now I to take it through as a group, individual, and now even as a community. Now when Nisika Kessie, prizes are Kessie in the community draw or go for the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with star 712 #. Now join in the winning streak now.
The luckiest.
Star 712 #.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah. The luckiest.
Today, we thank you very much for your invaluable service to this great company, and we wish you well on your retirement. Cheers.
Thank you.
Happy retirement, Lay.
Thank you very much.
So are you staying or you are going back to Ghana?
I'm going back home, of course.
Wow. You really built?
I've got a home at Lakeside Estate.
Really?
Lakeside Hills is a dream come true, a community designed for all stages of life. Whether you're a growing family needing more space, a young professional looking for convenience, or someone seeking a peaceful retirement, Lakeside Hills has it all. With 2, 3, and 4 bedroom homes, there's something for everyone.
That's impressive. Exactly what I'm looking for. I have to start saving towards this.
See you back home.
Lakeside Hills, it's not just a place to live, it's a place to thrive.
Dr. Bawumia once said, They are hurting the economy. These taxes are hurting. And therefore, you are not going to get the growth. And when you don't get the growth, you will not get the revenue. And when you don't get the revenue, you go back to increasing taxes to get the revenue. And then you are in a cyclical downward spiral. And so they have it wrong.
Plenty English know the full baskets. They told us they'd move us from taxation to production, but they rather imposed over 40 taxes on suffering Ghanaians. Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Election Command Center. Facts, analysis, results.
Imagine a place where voices matter, where every corner, every street, every community is a platform.
A big bus moving through Accra, carrying conversations, questions, and the pulse of the nation. This is not just another show, it's your voice on the move.
Join us as 3FM Sunrise hits the road, turning ordinary streets into platforms for extraordinary dialogue. Speak freely, listen deeply, and help shape the conversation that drives Ghana forward.
Look out for the bus and tune in exclusively on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
It's 26 days to election 2024. Choose peace over a political party.
The best in the morning is on 92.7. Sunrise on 3FM.
Welcome back. It's 21 minutes after 8 here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Haruna Idrisu is the man who started this whole back and forth in Parliament. Remember that he was the man who petitioned the Speaker of Parliament about the constitutionality of the 4 individuals, 3 on the side of the NPP, 1 on the side of the NDC, who are holding themselves some as independent candidates, some were trying to cross carpet. Andre Siama, who's Deputy Speaker of Parliament, for example, had come into this Parliament, the 8th Parliament, as an independent candidate for the Fomina constituency because of the troubles he had in the past with the NPP. Well, now in the 2024 elections, he says he's going to contest as a member of the NPP. Cynthia Mamley Morris in Aguna West had come in on the ticket of the NPP. Now she says he's going independent. And so on and so forth. Haruna Idrisu, the former leader of the House and MP for Tamale South, had raised the concerns. And that's what started this whole kind of, opened this whole kind of words. Listen to him. He said in the past he had warned Nana Akufo-Addo and Speaker Michael Quay about the consequences of precedents that they were setting. And this had happened before. Same Andrew Esiama was in the mix. He is in it again because then at the time, he was representing the MPP. He had troubles with the MPP per the primaries in Fomina, and he had gone independent. And his seat was declared vacant by then under the supervision of Speaker Mike Okoye in the 7th Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Listen to Haruna Idrisu.
I think it's important that we recognize as a country that the three co-equal organs of government perform distinct and separate functions and must respect the mandate, power, and authority of the other. The matter before us may border on constitutional interpretation depending upon who invokes the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. But clearly, what is before us, given precedent, is a matter under Article 99 of the Constitution, which in my view strongly belongs to the High Court as a forum on whether or not to declare a seat vacant or not vacant. But those of you who have studied Article 97 well, you must read the text well. The text reads, a member shall vacate his seat. Simple. A member shall vacate his seat. The onus is on that member. I'm not even too sure whether it's for the speaker to declare that seat vacant. It says a member shall vacate his seat if he. And when you read the he, I have read from persons in government, even from the learned Attorney General, seeking to talk about the future. The provisions in Article 97 does not only talk about the future, it talks about the past. When it uses the word, if he was elected, it didn't say if he is elected, if he was elected. And for me, I haven't revised my constitutional law lately, and particularly the rules of interpretation as I should do. But basic, give words their ordinary common sense meaning. It is only when the ordinary common sense meaning leads to absurdity that you look for their secondary meaning. I do not see how the text in Article 97 can be compromised. More importantly, many of you will recall that when I had the rare opportunity to lead the minority, I kept warning then President Akufo-Addo and Professor Michael Kwe as Speaker that watch the precedent you set and watch the consequences of the precedent you set. This is a consequence of a precedent.
It's 25 minutes after 8 here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Lawyer Martin Kpebu is a private legal practitioner. He joins us on the phone line now. We know that the Supreme Court this morning will sit, as they had announced earlier, in the matter of the 4 vacant seats, which has been declared by the Speaker of Parliament. Counsel, good morning. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, good morning. Morning. Good.
Yes, sir. Now, what will be your expectations of the Supreme Court this morning, when they convene to deal with this matter? What would be your expectations?
That they will come down unequivocally that the Speaker's ruling that the 4 members of Parliament have vacated their seats is correct. That's what I expect.
But do you think it will be an easy call? The Supreme Court earlier had thrown out a petition by the Speaker of Parliament, and people have been wondering whether the Supreme Court will do any such thing.
Yes, I know it may not be, but at least, if you look at the time they gave the Supreme Court ruling and today, you see the public reaction, the public sentiment, everything has shown the Supreme Court unequivocally that we don't think they are on the right path. So I'm sure now they will step back and look at it and see that the way they've suffered a huge reputational loss, especially even from the fact that the Afrobarometer has shown that from 57% in terms of trust of the judiciary in 2012, it has plummeted to 35% now, right? And then the Mo Ibrahim Index has also shown that we've lost 30 points. So it means that the two independent indexes are about the same. So it means that the Supreme Court will be looking to restore a bit of the hope. It may never get to the 2012 levels within a short time, but at least it's a process. So I believe this case should mark the first of a series of attempts by the Supreme Court to reclaim its former glory.
the Supreme Court, in throwing out Speaker Bagby's petition, had indicated that the people in the 4 constituencies whose seats have been declared vacant and who will not have the benefit of a by-election will not have representation. And on that basis, the petition was thrown out. There are those who have also raised the concerns that, well, the Supreme Court should have then considered the people of Santro, Kofi, Akpafu, Likwe, and Lolobi, who have been before the courts for 3 years, and then eventually the court says, well, we do not have jurisdiction over the matter. There's conundrum, and in the minds of the public who may not be learned as you are, and the confusion, how do we settle it?
Yeah, so those who say so have a point that the people of Central Kofi, Akpafu, Lolobi, etc., were denied the opportunity of having an MP, or simply were denied an MP for 4 years. Yet, the Supreme Court, in the case of Valentine Jate, yes, Bensametefe, etc., the Supreme Court didn't make an exception for the people. And then you remember Jati Kwesi's case.
That's right.
That one to the Supreme Court injuncted him, right? And
That's
even
right.
the Constitution itself says that in Article 112, clause 5 thereabout, it says that 3 months for an election, we should not do a by-election. So it means that the Supreme Court, the Constitution itself recognizes situations in which a people will be without an MP. So these MPs haven't willingly cross carpet. There's nothing the Supreme Court can do to help them. Yes, so it's the people who chose them who will now have to sit back and review. Thankfully, it's less than, I would say just about 2 months to the dissolution of Parliament, right?
That's right.
So we have December, so November, just about 2 months. So the harm to the people will be less. And the Constitution itself has thought about it and has said that, look, if it's 3 months for an election, there should be no by-election. So the Constitution itself has envisaged that in such a case, the damage will be little.
Right.
Yes, that's how come the Supreme Court, the Constitution says there should be no election.
Right.
So if the Supreme Court rules that these people have vacated yet, it will be nothing new. The Constitution itself envisages such a situation.
Would you be surprised if the Supreme Court doesn't go the way you are thinking?
Yeah, I will be. I will be extremely surprised, because then it means that the Supreme Court will not be obeying Article 125 of our Constitution. If you have it there, you can read it. It says that justice emanates from the people. Justice emanates from the people. So that, thankfully, this dispute is a very simple one. People have read Article 97, Clause 1, J and H, and have understood it. That, Mr. Hughes, as we speak today, Esiama is an MPP member.
Right.
But when he started his journey on 7th January 2021, he was an independent member.
That's correct.
Yet today, Esiama is MPP. So what is rocket science about the race? Today, Cynthia Mamle Morrison has filed as an independent at the EC.
Right.
And so she has lost her seat. She's seeking to remain in Parliament as an independent, which is wrong.
Right.
The same for Peter Kwachi Aka, and then Kojo Asante Sun.
Right.
This is very simple. There can be no esoteric interpretation that can give a contrary answer. Yes, I know lawyers often don't agree. Two lawyers often don't agree, and we have different philosophical schools and of thought in law, and different approaches to interpretation. But this one, when you are interpreting, they say when the words are clear, just give effect to them. Let's start with the 9718.
Right.
It says that if you came in as an independent and you joined a political party, you've lost your seat. Simple question. Has Isiama joined NPP or not? If yes, what interpretation are you going to do again? The Constitution says if you come in as an independent and you join a political party, you are out. So has Isiama joined NPP? has Isiama joined NPP? Very simple. Then Mamle Morrison and Co. So the gene, it says you're a member of a political party. Then you go independent. You seek to become independent. Has Mamle filed as an independent or not? Has Kwatiaka, the NDC member, filed or not?
A Memphis Central.
Has Memphis Central.
Right.
And then Kuja Santisu.
Right.
Has he also filed or not? These are simple answers. So we shouldn't make it complex. Like our local people say, you're simple. You're simple. Don't try to make any complex situation out of it. Once there's evidence before the court that these people have switched camps, have switched parties, or some have left parties to become independent, that's the end of the matter.
Your colleague at the bar and member of parliament for Adansi Asokwa, K.T. Hammond, says they will cite the Speaker of Parliament, Speaker Bagbin, for contempt because he simply has not abided by the last ruling given by the Supreme Court. Is he right?
Oh, no. I vehemently disagree with him. You know, what Katie is saying is, it's a democracy. So people are free to say things they want to say. I think it's just saber rattling. They're just saber rattling, just trying to, empty puffs. These are puffs, just trying to threaten the speaker, quote and unquote. That's all that they're seeking to do. Give him a bad name. But they rather have shot themselves in the foot. What is become clear is that they can't marshal enough members in parliament. That's what the whole thing is about. So this will cite speaker for contempt. Speaker is a worst speaker. They've put all these things out to make us debate those points so that it can deflect attention from the fact that the MPP did not have enough members in the chamber. They could not muster enough members. They could not marshal enough numbers.
Right.
And so they were going to lose votes on all the businesses if they went into the chamber on Thursday, 7th November. So that's the main thing. So Mr. Hughes, stay there. Don't give so much currency to side speaker. So I don't even want to go into the merits of that thing. The more time you spend on it, then the less time you spend on the fact that MPP is in shambles. They are disintegrating. Deep craters within their ranks. Deep fractures. That's how come not enough members of parliament came. Those members, they are in the constituency. You see, they are losing their seats. They see the wind of change.
Right.
That they are about to lose their seats. NDC is gaining more ground. So the MPs are not willing to come. Because Akufo-Addo is run family and friends government, and Akufo-Addo and his family, they have become very rich. So in this last minute, what the MPs in their constituencies are thinking is that we are coming to approve IDA loan, 250 million, etc. Who will make money out of this? It's Akufo-Addo and his family. So why should I leave my constituency and come to Accra to come and do business that will benefit Akufo-Addo but not benefit me? But if these MPs, most of them, of course, there are some who benefit, but most of them don't.
Right.
So now they are faced with a threat to their own livelihood. That is to say, their seats as MPs. And listen, a call by Akufo-Addo to come and do business that will help him, Akufo-Addo and his friends.
Right.
Naturally, any rational MP, MPP MP, will seek to stay in the constituency to take care of his own seat. Because if he's able to win, he can get his livelihood is secured, bread and butter is secured for the next 4 years. But if he listens and comes to sit in parliament at this time, he will just be federing Akufo-Addo family and friends business. And then his seat will be gone. And that's what Atenyo Market and the rest are faced with. So they can't convince the MPs to come and do family and friend business when the MPs themselves are in danger of losing their seats. That is where we should concentrate. Forget about K.T. Hammond and going to strike the speaker. He should go ahead. When he does it, we will then discuss it. But focus on the problems. Focus on their the theatricals they did
Right.
These are just to deflect attention. So focus. Mr. Hughes, go back. How many MPs did they have on that day?
Right.
By some accounts, 30.
Right.
Other radio stations said 31. Some are disputing it. I was on the key points, TV3, on Saturday with Honorable Kusi Adam.
Right.
He said the number wasn't even up to 30. So he's even disputing the 30. So you see that different people, their own people, Kennedy Japan, has told them, did you have numbers? So this is where we should stay. We are not cheats. Don't let these MPs make us look foolish, that they will come and give some punch lines. Then we'll follow those punch lines and leave the real matter at hand, which is that they cannot gather enough MPs to conduct business in the chamber. So they will continue saying things that will deflect attention from their failure to gather enough MPs.
Former President Kufuor says Speaker Bagbin has what it takes to end all of this and to take a bold decision. Did you expect the speaker to, because he seems to have been speaking, but he's also taking sides with the NPP. If you look at the front page headline of the Anchor newspaper, for example, it says Kufuor breaks silence on standoff in Parliament, says Speaker Bagbin holds keys to solving the controversy, and he says that Bagbin could have taken a decision earlier than this to solve all of these things. What do you think?
Look, I'm very disappointed in Kufuor. He was president here. He had the opportunity to do a lot of things. What did he do? He came here and enriched himself. So when I hear people even go to interview Kufuor, then I'm like, why do we have such a short memory? Kufuor was president 2008. He had the same thing. Well, hot. That is because he didn't perform well. That's why Kufuor couldn't win. If Kufuor had done very well, taking us to heaven, Kufuor would have succeeded him. So when they go back to Kufuor, I'm like, hey, Charlie, what are we doing? Didn't we live here when Kufuor was president? So what do you expect? It's politicians. They will say anything that will make sure that they further their own interests. So when I just listen to the comments before me, I'm like, well, this man, if I were him, I'll just stay out of this. Because the more Kufuor comes into the public arena, then the more he reminds me how he himself is part of our problem. Failure of leadership. He had 8 years. He could have transformed Ghana. What did he do? What did Kufuor do? Because we're angry with the Rawlings regime in the year 2000. I went and voted for Kufuor. I tell you, within 1.5 years when Kufuor came, this hotel, and things.
Right.
I thought that, Kufuor has come to enrich himself and his family. That was it. So I didn't even vote for Kufuor in the second term. But maybe some of the journalists who do this, maybe they've forgotten. We lived under Kufuor, please. Ghana wasn't heaven. Today, don't make Kufuor look like he is a saint. He's part of the problem. He's part of the leadership failure. Kufuor is part of the leadership failure that has put Ghana where we are today. He is a part of it. Kufuor is part of our woes. Kufuor is part of the hunger we are suffering today. Kufuor is part of the poor incomes, poor housing, poor health care that we are suffering. This statement is rich coming from Kufuor.
Well, he says that there are no vacant seats in Parliament. That a lot of people will sway towards him in spite of what you have said and what Ghana experienced under him, as you say. Some people will think that, well, now he's being called a statesman, and what he says it will make sense to a lot of people. Yes.
Of course, it will make sense to people who benefited from his government. I said that's how a lot of people behave. Naturally, when somebody coming into office, Kufuor coming into office, benefited those people who benefited. So they will be happy. And then, of course, there will be those who are party loyalists, okay? The people that, and it's not only in Ghana, across the world, you have them. Those that we say when you put a goat or a sheep or even a dog on the party ticket, once the party colors are near that dog or sheep, they will vote. They die hard. So, yes, they will be happy. That one, and it's not only Ghana. You see even how Donald Trump won. So all over the world, there will always be party diehards. So party diehards and those who benefited from Kufuor's administration will be happy. And if you're looking at diehards, maybe in each of the political parties, MPP, NDC, maybe at least there are more than 30%. That's how come even when each of the parties are in opposition, most of the time they get around 40%. out of the about 45%, even when they are in opposition. Out of that figure, I reckon that more than 30% are diehards. So those people, they will be happy. But those of us who are floating voters and often change, no, we will not be happy because we will analyze the situation fairly. We are not tied to any political party.
See, Lawyer Martin People, I thank you very much indeed for spending your money with us. We're grateful.
You're welcome.
And Lawyer Martin People is a private legal practitioner joining us here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. It's some 17 minutes to the top of the hour, 9.